What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Salute and welcome back to the Burpee Battlefield. And it's just a short video I wanted to do today to talk about accountability, particularly men who need to learn to take accountability. So what do we mean by accountability? It's basically being responsible for yourself, your actions, your behaviors, your responses, everything around you in your life, where you don't play the victim card and blame external people, but you grow and improve yourself and take, as I've mentioned, accountability for your actions, in effect. And it's really important that for anything in life, it's easy to blame something external or blame. It could be anything. It could be social media. It could be what someone has said. It can be anything where you blame the other person, in effect. And that is a toxic form of behavior, because what that means is men will not take responsibility for themselves, essentially. So some examples of how men can take accountability is understanding if a scenario or situation that may have occurred in your life, and you look at your own actions as opposed to theirs, and don't blame them for how you reacted or how you behaved or how you responded. And it's easy to fall in that, to say, it was, she said something bad to me and I'm in a bad mood right now, or it was her fault because she told me to do this, or I did this because of her. That is blaming the other person in any scenario, and it's a bad form of behavior, because essentially you're not growing yourself. You're not being vulnerable towards yourself and identifying where you may have gone wrong. And it's really important that in the event of in any scenario, if you are to look inward and look at where you may have gone wrong, then that is your first step towards growth, is accepting that you may have done wrong in a given scenario, and you identify where you may have gone wrong and how you improve later on down the line. And it's even with anything. It could be anything. It could be, let's use the example of training. Burpees, right? Which I do. I've built that discipline over the last 3 or 4 years and 5 years. And I've heard that some people have felt that if you don't exercise or work out, that it's okay. And I understand from that perspective that if you want to take a day off because you're feeling tired, then sometimes, yes, you have to give your mind and body a rest. But essentially, if you're saying that I'm too lazy, or I'm too tired, or I've had a busy day at work, and I can't be bothered to get off this bed, then you're just blaming something else. You're blaming the tiredness. You're blaming this lazy mentality that you've got. And accountability is, right, you know what, no matter what, I need to take accountable actions for myself, because I want to be healthy and I want to keep myself consistent, and I want to maintain that discipline and show up for myself. That is a form of accountability, is showing up for yourself, instead of just blaming anything around you. And I have been interacting with a few men just, in the past in my life, and I've seen that sometimes where they've showcased poor behavior, there could be reasons for that. It could be their personality, it could be their upbringing, it could be to their narcissistic mentality, narcissism traits. Those kind of things are a precursor, if that's the right word, for displaying victim mentality and blaming somebody else. And essentially, those traits, if you hold those traits, then no matter what bad things happen in your life, you are going to continue to blame other people, and you're going to move into a cycle of anger, frustration, depression, and those sort of negative emotions, because you don't want to take actions for what is happening in your life. And if the end result's going to be, it's their fault, I am like this, then you've lost, essentially. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody cares about how you feel. And I think it's really important to recognize that. And if you want to see life in a different way, and if you want to grow and improve your life, you have to take action. It is simple as that. Otherwise, you will distract yourself with social media, pleasure, and you won't be able to, you're not going to be feeding your purpose in life. And if you don't have a purpose, you are going to distract yourself with pleasure, and you're just going to blame the outside world and say, the world is such a shit place, and that's why, that's why I'm feeling like this. You're blaming, nobody really cares. So let's be honest with that, right? Nobody gives a shit about how you feel if you're feeling negative. Sure, what is important is if you do feel a certain way, is that if you have coping mechanisms that can help you to come out of a negative situation, whether it's at home, whether it's at a party, or any kind of setting where you feel negative, you feel anxious, you're feeling scared, you're feeling angry. A simple accountable actions to take yourself out of that equation, take yourself out of that environment, and go back to a form of safety where you can feel that more in a positive frame of mind. But essentially, taking accountability means making sure that you recognize those negative environments and you don't put yourself in those again, rather than blaming the other people for how you felt in that particular scenario. So it's really important that if in life you're looking at your life and you're thinking, my life isn't very good, it's not worth living, it's because of the people I'm with, or it's because of again what somebody may have said, you have to be accepting that those external environments and those external situations are never going to change. How you perceive that event or scenario or that environment is what's going to lead you into taking accountability by recognizing, I can get myself out of this situation. And essentially, when you take that action, you remove yourself from that ball of negativity because you've just taken accountability for that. So essentially, in life, if you want to go somewhere, you've got go somewhere, get somewhere, do something, go do it yourself. Take accountability, set yourself goals, set your purpose, and take action. It is as simple as that. And I say it to a lot of men who are watching this because in my life, I've seen a lot of men who act recklessly, behave recklessly, and they don't take accountability for it, and they blame other people, or they deny it, or they're in a state of denial. If you are that kind of man, I feel sorry for you, because your life is not going to move forward, and you will your mind will continue to regurgitate those negative thoughts and feelings because you will blame the other person for what you may have done. Stop that. Cut the crap out. Recognize your own shortfalls. Take action and grow and become a better human being for it. And your life around you will feel 100 times better. That's just what I wanted to say about the topic. Especially men, should start taking accountability for their actions. Get out in the gym, build that dopamine, crank out those burpees, do those calisthenics bodyweight training, get your pull-ups in, get your chin-ups in, get your dips in. That's taking accountability. And watch how your life changes, because you are going to take control of any situational scenario and your inner world is going to grow. All right, guys, that's just a topic I wanted to share with you on accountability. Keep training, and I'll see you in the next one.